Welcome, 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 welcome to Day 21. We did it, we did it, we did it, we did it. Yay. Woo. Okay. Wow, we have our coaches here. We have Denise Francis Robinson, Elizabeth Perry. I'm Dennise Williams. We make up Fabulous Life, and we did it with you, and you did it with us, whether it's live or in the replay. We had 21 awesome days.
Yes.
And in the 21 days, we covered a lot. And so we want to take this day 21 to just run through, just of what we covered. And so our first was, if you visit www.fabulouslifefocus.com, you will see this on the website in our inner circle page, right? And in the inner circle page of www.fabulouslifefocus.com, we're going to show you, how to take action, inspired action. Where do you need support? Click on the button. And we have the 21 days organized really neatly into actionable videos on our YouTube channel. So when you need a top up, when you need just some inspired action, check us out. And so in talking about inspired action, we did start out with mindset.
Yes.
And Liz is here. And Liz, any comments, anything you want to share as just, some quick bullet points?
Well, just to kind of refresh everybody's memory, I mean, that was like 21 days ago when we started the challenge with the spiritual mental detox. And so we started off talking about the key being your self-concept and the self-concepts that we hold and how that impacts everything in our lives. And we treated self-concept really as a core belief, because that self-concept is who we believe ourselves to be. And sometimes we don't really understand that that is very malleable. And many of us have been programmed into certain thoughts because of our experiences, especially before the age of 7, about who we are in this world and how deserving we are and how worthy we are and how that impacts every aspect of our lives, from our money through to even our creativity, because sometimes we may hold ourselves back and we say, oh, I'm just not a creative person, when in fact we truly are. And our relationships and everything else. So your self-concept has been really fundamental to everything that we do in life. And then we talked about our thoughts, and our thoughts being the sort of precursor to designing our reality. What are we thinking about? What do we think about ourselves, of course, and what do we think about everything else in the world, our values, and how that impacts next our emotions. And we talked about how can we detox ourselves from some of these really negative thoughts that we're holding, because negative thoughts generally lead to negative feelings. And when we feel negative, then that impacts us physiologically, meaning that it can lead to actual illnesses. And we don't want to go down that road at all, especially during this, COVID time when everybody's trying to keep us healthy as possible. So how do we keep ourselves in a good feeling place? And I shared with you some tips and things that you can do. And you can always go back to the videos and the workbook.
Yes.
To remind yourself of some of those things that you can do like right away to help get yourself into a better feeling place. And then we ended with self-talk. So what is it that we are saying to ourselves all the time? There's always that little voice that's going, and that little voice really can lead us down the rabbit hole. So we need to pay attention to the voice because sometimes we're just not aware of it. And a lot of what we're covering is really thoughts and feelings that are not necessarily in our conscious mind. So how do we change it? Well, the first step is to become aware of it. So we have to be in a space of reflection, of self-awareness, of developing our awareness of self, so that we can then learn how to self-regulate.
Right.
So the first step is self-awareness, and a lot of that is what we dealt with in the first 4 days with the spiritual detox.
And I want to say also, if you do follow the link, we have the link to all of the workbooks and PowerPoints. So again, you can check out the work that was done. Now, can I jump in here and say that normally we check in first, but then
Yes.
I know,
Yes,
you know,
so
you have given us a nice, really recap for creative. So when we get to creative, how about we do it then? So, all right, cool. Okay, so after mindset, oh, and if you want to get in touch with Liz Terry, here is her contact information.
And you can also find me on Facebook.
Yes.
At Limitless Transformation Jamaica.
Okay, great. Now we had wellness, and that was super awesome. Again, click on the link, go into the inner circle for the www.fabulouslifefocus.com and go on our inner circle page, download all the workbooks, all the PowerPoints, and you can watch the videos. Okay, now after that, after wellness, and oops, sorry, here is Dr. Andrea Harriot's contact information. You see her Facebook information. Now, creativity. Then we had a lot of fun here, and I spent 4 days talking about my glitter crayons. So that was super awesome. So now we can do the check-in and do what we need to do.
Okay. Okay, so folks who are watching and on the replay, for some reason there's an echo with my sound. So if there's a little delay, please forgive us. And so let us just do a quick centering, which is just be conscious of our breathing. So in this moment, I just want you to put your hands on your heart and just close the eyes and just do 3 deep breaths in. 1, and out, and in, and out. And the last one, in, and out. And that works very well as a quick way to center yourself when things are not exactly how you want it to be, or when you're trying to set the tone of, how you want things. And so in this moment, I could even do a little bit of how you're feeling, one word. You can do that. All right. So how I'm feeling, I'm feeling joyful as always. And my color today is red.
Ah.
Yeah.
I got the cue from you.
Yes.
Okay. So I am feeling accomplished. And so I'm in the black.
Yeah. Spoken like a true money lady.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, despite the fact that I have on red, and I specifically chose this color because I wanted to feel, just vibrant.
Yes.
At the moment, I'm feeling very relaxed.
Good. Yes.
Yeah.
And the color, well, you just wore it because.
I wore it because I just felt like,
Okay.
when I chose it earlier in the day, I chose it because I was feeling like I wanted to be lifted by the color.
See that?
Vibrant.
Okay.
Yes.
So we are completely in alignment. The color affects the mood, affects the environment, and depending on your own belief system, colors, have an assortment of meanings. So culturally, we'll see commonalities, but
So what does red mean? What does red mean? Tell me.
Red is the passion, and red is the color that they use in China for the brides.
Yeah.
Oh, bye.
Red is, fire is energy, high energy. So choosing the right thing subconsciously.
Right.
Right. Yeah, so I listened to Liz a while ago, just in her recap, and something struck me. Talking about awareness. How do we become aware? And I just jotted down a note to myself. Is like, yes, throughout the creative process, journaling, doodling, making mandalas, that allows us to go inwards, and things occur for us as we engage in creative practices like that. So you can use creativity as a tool to become more aware of self. And so I actually, with my 4 days, just basically have this slide going consistently. Creativity is a way of being, and it's just who you are by nature, and so you can tap into it and develop it. I want to remind people, because all these slides are just about reminding everyone a little bit from it. Then just back one.
Okay.
And the next, yes, okay. So we always talk about creation. We're in creation. We're observing creation all the time, not recognizing that we are creators ourselves. And so I looked at alignment of creation, creation, and the creative, who is who you are. And so just saying, finding your creative inspiration in maybe a romance with the soul, going connecting with self at a deeper level, loving self. Came down to the next slide now.
I think the poet Rumi always talked about that. When I heard about romancing the soul, that's what the poet thought of.
Yes. And so when we think about creativity, we think of creativity as a way of, different perspectives, or different ways of seeing things, of appreciating things and doing. And so, acquiring multiple perspectives is one of the things that I encourage people to do. To also become conscious of the fact that you are a creator. This is your time. I was on a call earlier with this amazing lady, Whitney Freer, who really echoed exactly what I was thinking and what I've been harping on. This time that we're living is perfect to exhibit or to inhabit our creativity. Like, this time was made for us. Michelangelo, practice seeing in different ways, and by the way, he spoke about the work behind seeing, seeing in different ways. So he said, I saw the angel in the marble and cried until I set him free. Beautiful metaphor for
Isn't
life,
that?
see what is there. So you can actually be doing your creative activity in order to bring forward whatever there is inside, that angel inside of you, that power inside of you. And so simple acts of creativity can raise your energy. So Liz, you creatively selected your red today, and it lifted and your energy, the color choice you made. So even a simple thing like going to the beach and building little stone sculptures, that's such a wonderful space to explore. And I saw this beautiful little poem, and I just dropped it in there just because, just because. Learn how to read the love letters sent by the wind and rain, snow, and moon. That is our awareness, and our creativity is built up by our surroundings. When we are tuned in. And so these beautiful words echoed that for me. And so you're developing your creative voice. It takes effort. Michelangelo didn't just see the angel in the marble, he had to chisel it out. You know how hard it is to hammer marble?
I cannot imagine.
I don't know, but I think it's pretty hard. So it takes effort. And the effort, it can be physical, it can be that focus in terms of mental and so on. So my overview for everybody, to remind you, one, just breathe. Just breathe is an act of love, an act of connecting with your soul self. Love, yes, Valentine's coming up, and we're all talking about, oh, I love Liz, I love Dan, I love my son, I love, and I'm saying, let's love here first. I love me.
Mhm.
And I love me
Yes,
so
yes.
much that my cup overflows that I get to love Liz and Dan.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so, as we look at the full picture of creativity, there's so many avenues, and my area that I love and specialize in, I do other things, whether paintings or drawings, but visual journaling is a space that I invite everybody to come into, and I am doing a monthly workshop in visual journaling. So stay tuned for the actual date and time for that. And
Mhm.
Awesome. I
that's my
love it. Love it. Love it.
Yes,
Love it.
lovely.
And can I jump in, Liz? You have upcoming workshops and such as well. So people should stay
Yeah.
tuned for that.
Yes, indeed. In fact, I had a meeting just today working out a program that I'm going to be offering virtually.
hmm
And it is really a leadership development program. And some people on this call might be saying, oh, I'm not interested in leaders. But I think that every single one of us is a leader in some way, shape, or form. Whether it is as mothers, we are leading our families, whether it is that we are teachers and we are leading our children that we are teaching, whether we are in corporate and we are not yet at the level of leadership, we lead. We lead by example, and we need to lead ourselves. We need to practice self leadership. And so this program is really going to be modular, and it will be over a period of 12 months. And so
Oh,
I'm
okay.
really, really excited about that. It's going to be coming out actually around about May. And so people can stay tuned for that. So it's going to be really super empowering, because that's really what I'm about. I want people to recognize and to be able to access and utilize effectively the power that each and every one of us has, because we
Yes.
do have it, and most times it just escapes us, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
And I think that, one of the things I like about the whole fabulous life concept is that we're in the helping profession. And
Mhm.
part of being in the helping profession is that gathering of energy
Yeah.
and being in a positive space. So that's very
Mhm.
helpful. And, Liz, you talk about leadership. And, a lot of us wait before, we have to become president and CEO before we leadership.
But it goes
And
against, let me just stick a pin there, then. That what you're saying, it goes against the law of attraction. Because in
ah,
fact, you have to be the leader before you can be identified as a potential leader. You have
ah,
to be exhibiting the
yes,
kinds of traits and qualities and behaviors that people say, Denise, you really look like you're gonna, fit very well in this role. And so
yes.
I begin to identify you. And so we have to prepare ourselves, and that is mind and managing, regulating your emotional state, and learning how to do a host of different things, which will be part of the program.
Now, what's another thing about leadership? Because it seems like we're kind of drifting in that
I
direction. Problem solving, but not in the
Yeah,
traditional
yes,
MBA sense. So, Denise, what's
yes.
happening here? So, waiting
You're
on the
muted.
yes. Oh,
Ask me the
oh.
question again.
No, I'm saying we're moving over to problem solving as part of leadership. So, tell me what's
Okay.
happening here in this slide.
Oh,
Creativity.
yes, yes. And well, as I said before, creativity is a way of being. And when you start to develop a creative practice, you start to develop a different way of looking at whatever issues,
Hmm.
challenges, the way you do what you do. And so sometimes when you get stuck and you have a problem and the established ways don't work, remember your creative self has the answer, that divine space.
Yes.
So if you are in a practice, as you were just saying a while ago, Liz, if
Hmm.
you are in a practice of thinking on things creatively, whether it is a drawing or a painting or
Hmm.
building the latest, I don't know, Lego set, erect a set or whatever, your brain is wiring that way. So to
Yes.
solve problems becomes a little bit less strenuous and more pleasurable because
Yes.
you have this new way of deconstructing
Mhm.
or unpacking your issues and looking from multiple perspectives. What if I turned it on its head? What if I turned it on its side? Exploring the most outrageous possible solutions. So that's all what we do in the creative space. And so
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
training you that way. Yes, like you say in Bolt, train. He has to train before he can go for that gold medal.
Yeah.
That's
And,
right.
and you know,
Then it becomes easy to solve the problems.
sure. And
Right.
you know, Denise,
Yes.
neuroscience actually supports this creative process and
Right.
says that in order to get the most out of even your daily schedule, that if you have had, say, 45 minutes or so of very, very focused work, and you have an issue that it's thorny and you can't just get your head around it, the best thing to do is actually to leave it alone
Yes.
and to do something pleasurable, like
Yes.
doodle maybe,
Yes.
or get up and do some exercise, go for a walk outside, something, because that way it opens a space for your unconscious,
Yes.
and your unconscious often has the answers that you're looking for, but you're so busy in here, in your conscious, logical mind, trying to, fit all the dots together, and you can't do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So believe it or not, we have even more because we had transformation coaching. Having some feedback here. Right. So we had some transformation coaching, and that was with Coach Nads and Nadine Sinclair. You can reach her. And last but certainly not least was money success coaching. And in my section, I really looked at releasing your blocks from scarcity, looking at how you were programmed, your money blueprint, because a lot of us are, by the very fact that you need to keep the lights on, you have to go get a job and you're trained to earn. But then how do you keep what you earn, or how do you have something to show for what you earn? That's the other part of the blueprint that a lot of times is ignored. So, that was part of my money success coaching.
Can I just tell you, I love the pig.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I just want to again, encourage everyone to go back and just revisit the 21-day challenge that we had, and make the best of your life. And if the coaches have any closing comments. So Denise.
Oh, well, my only closing comment is so predictable. All day long is a process of creation. You're always creating. So I'm going to encourage you to become aware of that and consciously create the things that you want and not what you don't want. And I'm always here to help to guide you with some of the tools and strategies using the arts as the vehicle.
Absolutely. And Liz, I'm okay, great.
Yeah, well, what I'd like to say is that you need to take action because all of this is really wonderful. We have shared between the five of us some really great information, and there is a lot of content out there. But guess what? If people could turn their lives around by themselves, we would have
Mm,
a lot of very, very successful and self actualized people. And generally, it is proven that you need a coach to do a few things. In terms of NLP, then it's certainly helping you to do some of these techniques that I've spoken about, to go deeper and to set out a complete plan of action which you agree to and which you commit to. And of course, the whole question of accountability. So take action. Make
yeah,
sure that you make your 2021 your bestest year
absolutely.
ever.
So I want to say thank you to the coaches here. Thank you to the coaches that participated. Thank you to the persons who came live. And thank you to the persons who watch on replay. And a special thank you to the people who do take action. So again, visit the website www.fabulouslifefocus.com. Thank you and bye.
Thank you all.